Looks like it's time for plan B.
Oh, right. There's a plan B, is there? It's just plan A was so brilliantly devised, I wouldn't have thought we'd need a plan B. What is it, climb over her fence? It's a bit higher than I imagined.
Don't shit yourself. It's only a fence. It won't bite.
Yes, Jay, except I'm not worried about it biting me. I'm worried about falling off and breaking my neck. Well, come on, will it be a laugh?
Oh, reach our Matchday report. You all know the drill. Preston North and 1, Swansea 2. We're getting tired of saying this shit. Another injury time stinger. What's the cause of this? What's the reason? Ryan Law says it's just football. We need a little bit of luck on our side. To that I say bullshit. To that I say we need a plan B. To that I say we need to stop time wasting and injury time, and we need to keep our heads in the fucking game. Because every single time we switch gears into this stupid little defensive mode where we try our best to keep the ball back to and have it passed around us in spells of possession, it never fucking works because we can't hold spells of possession. 37% possession, 64% passing accuracy. That is piss fucking poor. 64% is below National League average. What the fuck? Is it any wonder why this? I mean, this is the average for us around the 60s. But is it any fucking wonder why we don't manage to, maintain that possessive game and win in the added time? We can't keep possession. It's as simple as that. We can't string passes together. It's just we're piss poor. It's simple as that. Swansea were piss poor as well. It was two very shit sides coming against one another and just wrestling each other for the whole game, hoping to get a goal. They scored through Jamie Patterson, and it was a pretty fair goal. I'll give him that. But then we come back in the 67th minute out of nowhere because Liam Miller's the only person with balls on that pitch to fucking do something about anything and have a shot. Basically went on his own, and it was a moment of quality in the game. We needed that. And for the rest of the game, it didn't really look like we was in the game. It didn't look like they were in the game. It looked like it was going to finish 1-1 until the closing stages when for some reason we'd changed gears and we concede again because of this gear change. I'm sick to death of saying it, and I speak on behalf of everyone else that we are sick of seeing it. I've never been one for negativity, and I don't want it to be negative, but it's getting very difficult for me to keep defending things we do and defending the manager and whatnot. Especially just before Christmas. I don't want to be this way, but it is what it is. Anyways, like you can see, we're both pretty even on terms of the shots, excluding possession and things like that. So we both had the same level of desire to attack this game, which was not very much. So for us to not walk away with a point is quite upsetting. Right, line up and player ratings. Cornell, yes, we started Cornell. Nothing he could do about Patterson's precise strikes. Made a great save to deny Low in the first half. Smothered Key's effort from a tight angle. Got away with one big time in the second half when he was dispossessed, which I agree, he got very lucky there. But as an overall start, like the first league start for Cornell, I think he did pretty well. So hopefully, if we're going to continue to start Cornell, it'll give Woodman a kick up the arse to sort his game out. Story is 6, wasn't overly troubled in the game and will therefore be extremely disappointed to have shipped 2 goals. Lindsay a 5, horrible late blow, Patterson working from the shot and firing in the last gasp winner, had defended relatively well over the piece. Hughes a 6, kept his game simple at left centre back and put in a steady shift despite the defeat. Keep it moving. Potts a 5. Patterson ghosted into space behind him for the first goal. He ran the hard yards, completed his duels as always, but didn't provide too much of an attacking threat. Ledson a 6, brought into the team to bite and scrap, and he did that in spells, back alongside McCann. McCann a 4, covered plenty of ground when he tackles, but punished late in the day with a square pass which Patterson pounced on and struck away. But then again, I see a lot of people blaming McCann, I see a lot of people blaming Ledson, I blame them both. McCann's played this dead ball into absolutely nowhere, and Ledson's been asleep and hasn't received it. Yeah, you're expecting the ball to come to your feet, but it just in those moments when the ball doesn't always come to your feet, you've got to be switched on, ready to get the ball. Ledson just let it go, just completely went past him. So yeah, shame. Brady is 6, forced off just before half time after going down with a knock. Hadn't done a great deal wrong and killed a shot just wide from 18 yards. Close shot to be fair. Brown a 5, in one of 2 attacking midfield roles alongside Holmes. Preston thought didn't have a great deal of joy in the Swansea half. Holmes a 5, put the work in, wasn't able to provide the spark he's capable of. Had a chance in the first half to lead a counter attack, but it petered out. Never heard that before. Fired over from distance in the second. Evans a 5, led the line on his own, didn't get much of a look in, not for lack of trying. You sound like Ryan Law. So a powerful shot held well shortly after the restart. Miller an 8, carried North End's threat mostly on his own, scored a fine solo goal to level the game. Almost produced a carbon copy shortly after, but was denied by an excellent save. Miller's just too good for this team. Mads a 5, wasn't able to get into the game, tried to get his foot on the ball and keep the ball on the floor, which we should be doing. That was match 5. Very little service from the 20 minutes he was on the pitch. Made the runs, chased the lost causes. Woodburn a 5. Introduced deep into injury time. And I've seen a lot of people say, oh, he's come on, and literally 1 minute after he's come on, we've conceded. We didn't concede because of Woodburn. Woodburn was nowhere near the fucking ball. I get, yeah, it's funny to take the piss out of Woodburn, but stop. Just use your fucking brains a minute. McCann and Ledson both had responsibility to take from that goal, and no doubt they'll get told that. But at the same time, I believe there's a lot of pressure on this man at the minute to do something about it, because not only is things not going our way at all, but he's incredibly stubborn and not changing anything in the way to try and make things right, and that's where everyone's getting pissed off. There's no plan B, there's no plan C. There's nothing we can do after plan A fails. As you can see, he's always stood on the touchline shouting the same nonsense he always shouts. At full time, if we lose, he says the lads followed the game plan excellently. It went for a try, and that's football, innit, if we got unlucky. No, it's not football. Football is when you need to take bold choices, which the lineup today was pretty bold, I'll give you that. But at the same time, make bold choices, spice your game up a little bit. Don't try the same thing week in, week out. Don't just say we're not going to have all the possession in the world and we need to do this and we need to do that differently because of this team doing this better than us. No, that's not what you fucking do. You said it when you came into the club that you play gung-ho, you like to play 6 up front and 4 at the back. Bollocks, you play 8 at the back and 2 up front. Nextly, you said you like to be an adaptive manager, you adapt to how the game moves. Seems like you're a results-based manager to me. It's getting very tiring, and everyone's always going back to his first interview when he said that he's got an exciting attacking brand of football, which we've never really seen, to be honest with you, apart from a few exceptions. But it's beside the point. I don't care what he said all that time ago, and if he's still holding up to it about the attacking football. What really strikes me is how he was saying things like, I like to play gung-ho, I like to I'm an adaptive manager, I adapt in the game. You don't. You've got one game plan and you hope the fuck it works. And if the lads follow the instructions, you say that you followed the instructions well, but we still lost. Well, that's your fault for not having a fucking backup plan. If it's not going your way, switch it up a little bit, switch gear. And when I say switch gear, don't put 9 at the back, because you're never going to score a fucking goal. I think it's common sense. Especially after that interview he had the other week, where he was saying, what's this fan done in football? And he's not allowed to comment on what I do. It's such a harrowingly poor interview, to the point where it's caused a lot of backlash online, from myself included. I was a fan of Ryan Law and his approach to doing things and how he came across, but after that interview, and especially after the last couple of games, my eyes are starting to widen a little bit here, and I'm very quickly losing not only faith, but I'm also very quickly losing my patience with Ryan Law. So hopefully, these next couple of games, Sunderland, Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday, granted tough games, something needs to be done. And we can't keep going into games week in, week out with the same approach. It needs changing. Let's see what Ryan Law had to say this time, shall we? Disappointed at the minute. It's still raw. I am disappointed, gutted. We couldn't see it through to get a point, which would have been a good point and a battling performance. When you pass the ball sideways and not forward, that can sometimes happen. We do that every fucking game. Oh lord. When you pass the ball sideways and not forward, I can't remember what fucking game it was now, but when we were playing a game, Norwich, when we was playing Norwich, their commentators sussed us out instantly. Preston played the ball side to side all game and then play a hopeless long ball forward. That is exactly the game plan every single fucking game. So when you're saying when you pass ball sideways and not forward, that can happen. Why are we passing sideways then? Plenty of moments in games where we can play a ball through straight forward, have our attacker open it up in the middle, take it on his strong foot and score. Why instead do we bother to play it really wide and then put a ball into the box when most of their players are bigger than ours in the box? We're not really going to win those headers, are we? We don't often score from those kind of goals. The goals we normally score from is when we bring it in closer on the floor and play clever passes. That's the goals we score most from. Those are our highest odds of scoring. Every other goal we've scored this season that doesn't come from one of them, it's not been overly successful. It's been a moment of luck on top of with a little bit of quality. I really don't understand that comment. That's stupid. We've been punished by one of our own mistakes, which I know it's not meant, but it's a gut-wrenching moment. We are disappointed with the first goal. We left him unmarked inside the 18-yard box. You can't leave good players unmarked. And then obviously the second one, we know we should pass forward and play the percentages. We got back into the game from a great goal from Miller, and we're in the ascendancy. We weren't in the ascendancy at all. We had like 1 or 2 more shots after that. I'm not saying we were excellent. It was a dog performance and we had to dig in. We just couldn't see it out. We never got a point, so it's pointless talking about it, but I thought we were well worthy of a point. So did I. The lads carried out the game plan to a T. So the game plan again was the same as Norwich, to go in and try and win a draw. Why would you go somewhere when you're trying to... he doesn't see it the way that we see it, of course, but why, when you're slowly sliding down the table because everybody else is getting results and crawling up the table, and the teams in the top 6 are continuing to ascend in the table, why would you bother going somewhere for a fucking point? Get the 3 points and go home happy. People are not travelling 5 hours to Swansea on a Friday night before Christmas to see us get a point. And because we couldn't see it out because of our stupid gear shift that we do every game, they've gone home unhappy at 4 AM without a fucking point, while that bastard smug on his jet going home in an hour's time. It's ridiculous. The game plan was carried out to a T. Yeah, right, okay, so you have a game plan. I thought he was an adaptive manager. Where was the second game plan and the third game plan when things weren't going our way? Liam Miller getting us back into the game was a moment of his own quality. That weren't part of the game plan, surely, because everything Miller did was completely opposite to what everybody else did. That weren't part of the game plan, was it? There was no plan B anywhere being executed. Miller decided to take it upon himself to score a goal. If we offer him a contract in the summer, big if, and he doesn't sign on, I wouldn't be surprised. Genuinely, he's too good for us. We knew Swansea would have large parts of possession and that we could withstand their pressure. But you can't account for individual errors and mistakes. Decisions have cost us. The changes were made for reasons. If we'd drawn one, then everyone would say... If we drawn 1-1, then everyone would say changes were fine. So we've got a squad and I can feel complete, and I can feel that can compete. Sorry. Everyone can step in when the time is right and perform, which they did. We have a lapse in concentration for the last 2 minutes. Because not only are we trying to see it out and we're getting lazy and tired, but we're just not doing what we were doing all game. We switch into that stupid, lazy defensive mode. Don't do that. It costs us every single time. At Huddersfield, when we was 2-0 up, we changed gears in the start of the second half, a very negative approach, and we concede from it. As soon as we changed back to the attacking gear, perfectly fine. We did not go back to that defensive gear at all that game, and Huddersfield never got close to scoring again. Bloody hell. Right. I will have to lift myself first and foremost because I feel like I'm letting people down. Oh, believe me, you fucking are. And that is not me. I don't want to let people down. I just want to do the job to the best of my ability. I don't give a shit what you want to do. This is something people always have a problem with Brian Law. Everything he says is about himself. Whether or not that's not me. I don't want to let people down. I want to do the job to the best of my ability. Yeah, no shit. That's what you're there to do, dickhead. Do it. We don't care about your mental state. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Harrowing when people abuse players and managers, but you're not helping yourself at all here. I am the manager and I take the brunt of it and the criticism. That's fine. It's clearly not, because it's routing you up to the point you're attacking the fans. It is football, so I'll get home to my family and they will lift me. We'll be in tomorrow afternoon. I'll have to lift the players and we'll have to go again. Do we need a bit of luck? Potentially, yes. Well, that would be nice, but we can't rely on luck. Where does the luck come from? I don't know. Do we have to keep digging in and working hard? Yes, we've been undone by 2 moments of our own fault today. When you're losing games of football through mistakes or bad habits and not doing the right things, it hurts. We've got to pick ourselves up and go again. There are a few tired legs towards the end, and if you see it through, you just take the point because it's a good point. They've been in decent form, to be fair, and Alan is doing a steady job. Swansea have been in decent form. What the fuck are you looking? They're in 15th. They've had 2 draws and 2 draws, a loss and a win before we played them, and then they took a win from us because we're in shit form. We've had 3 losses and a draw. They're in decent form. Fuck off, they're in decent form. They're not. They're a poor side at the minute. If you'd have given me a point before the game, I'd have bit in your hand off. No. No, that's a stupidly negative approach. Oh, no. I think we're in the relegation battle, to be honest with you. With the negative approach taken to this game, to go to Swansea for a point, when they're not exactly a team that we should be losing to, based on what we've done this season. We shouldn't be over the moon with a point. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. For us to go on from here with a point would have been good. Yeah, sure it would have been, but we shouldn't be aiming for that. They don't lack character, effort or desire. That is one thing I am big on. They are gutted in there. Can't speak to them. I just said we'll address it tomorrow because I'm not going to go around blaming everyone. We should understand and know the time of the game and see it through. My pressure is on myself. I've got the backing of Peter and Craig. I always do. The pressure is on me. I want to do well for the club. I want to make other people happy, so the pressure comes from me. I want to do the job to the best of my ability, and I think I've done that for 2 years. Possibly. I can't neither agree or disagree with that, to be honest with you, but people might question it, but it's not from upstairs or players or staff. I think we've done a good, steady job, and I don't feel any pressure. You fucking should, mate. I feel the love more than anything. I've had a lot of texts and emails off good people, but ultimately, as a manager, that is what happens. Other people will put pressure on you, as they should. All I want to be is the best version of Ryan Law for Preston North End, and I will continue to try and do that. What's with the poetic ass speech? I don't care. 246 travelling fans. Law said, I am gutted for them. They are not going to get back until 4 o'clock, and I wish I could bring them all on the plane home with us to save them the journey, but I can't. That is gut-wrenching, because I don't let people down. If you ask people who know me, everything they ask I do. I go above and beyond for most, especially people close to me. Those fans have been close to us all season. I don't care about your character, pal. You're here to take us to the next level and keep us in the Championship first and foremost, as you always say. First and foremost, keep us in the league. Secondly, take us up to the next league. I don't care if you're a good character and you do things for people. I don't give a shit if you help your dad go to the fucking gas station 2 miles down the road. I could not care less about your personal life and your personal endeavours. What I care about is you taking your finger out your ass and getting your shit sorted out. Because we're slowly getting into some trouble here. I am trying, we're all trying, we've just got to wait for it to change. Will it change? No, we don't wait for it to change. You fucking make the change. I've got full confidence in the group. I am a good guy. No, we're trying to pick up as many points as we like. We're on 32 points. I'd just like to be on more. Same. If truth be known, we should be, but we're not, which is true. So we have to deal with it and go to the next one. It feels like a repeat of this time last season. It's like every Christmas we go through this, where things get really sour. And I don't understand why it's always Christmas. Excuse me. It's always fucking Christmas time. The only difference was when we sacked McAvoy and brought Archer in. That's when things started to feel better than Tom Cannon last season, but we couldn't see that through. It's ridiculous. I don't care if you're a good guy, pal. I know we're not picking up as many points. Everyone can see that. But, you know, will it change? We just got to wait for it to change. No, you don't. Change your approach. If the approach isn't working, change it. Oh, fucking hell. I can't. How's this guy taking 2 teams up? Right, Robbie Brady. Injury. I think it's his calf. He's disappointed. He's been training excellently for the last few weeks. Since he's got sent off, he's got his head down. Hasn't complained and just got on with it. He's travelled, geeked the lads up, and lo and behold, he gets his first start. He's doing a fantastic job, and then his calf pops a little bit. So yeah, he's disappointed, and I'm disappointed. But that's football, innit? You've been saying that a lot recently. As for his team selection on the night, Cornell's outing. I'm not looking at players' contributions just now. I'm just disappointed with the result. No! Talk about the fucking contributions. That's what the interview's about, you cunt. Oh, I don't want to talk about the individual performances because we've just lost a game of football, which is raw at the moment. The changes were made for reasons. If we'd drawn everyone, we'd said the changes were fine. We've got a squad I feel can compete. We're being asked on why Woodman isn't starting, and he's completely dodged the question. Freddie isn't starting because he's in bad form. Just say it. What's the point in hiding it? You're not slagging your player off. You're being honest. The player's not going to learn without criticism, and neither are you. Which is why I don't understand why he always tries to shove out every little piece of criticism that he gets from anywhere and everyone. You need criticism to better yourself. That is one of the biggest fundamentals of anything in life, whether or not that be your job work, your home life, your personal work, your personal self. Criticism is your best fucking friend when it comes to improvement, and he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as abuse. And while don't get me wrong, sometimes it does go over the top. It goes over his head completely. If I can fucking see this, and I don't understand why you can't. And other day, especially when he's saying like, people think it's easy sitting playing FIFA and Football Manager in your bedroom. Will still used to play Football Manager for fun in his room, and now he's managing against fucking PSG. He's managing against top flight teams. You can't even beat fucking Swansea. And it wouldn't surprise me if we get beat by Sheff Wednesday next week either. I'm debating even going on the Sheff Wednesday game anymore, but it is what it is. If what I see on Boxing Day doesn't at least make me feel any bit of positivity, then I'm going to very slowly lose my temper and patience and probably give up. But oh well, we support this team for a reason. It's part of the package. But anyways, thanks for watching. Been a bit of a rant, I understand, but I think I speak collectively when I say we're all getting fed up and none of us are worried about Robbie Brady's injury. I speak collectively when I say that. But again, thanks for listening. Hopefully you can see the same viewpoint I do. And if you don't, then you're obviously, of course, entitled to your own opinion. But Just logically speaking, at the minute, looking at the table, we're like 8th place currently, 9th place, sorry, with more games to follow as of this recording. And if those games go our way, we can drop down to 14th, the lowest. 14th we could drop to today, back where we belong. So, if we drop to 14th as well, bear in mind the other teams that are underneath us. If we lose a couple more games, we could potentially be down there, close to the relegation places. Well, don't get me wrong, the relegation places are still a distance off. We've currently got double the points of those in 22nd. 23rd, sorry. 22nd is a bit slightly better off. So there is a potential that it can catch up to us. If we continue in poor form for the rest of the season, we are very much so fighting relegation. So that's why I'm concerned, because we're a mid-table team. We're always a mid-table team, and I don't mind finishing mid-table because we always do. But after such a good start as well, to see it all crumble the way it has done, it's so unbelievably poor, and it needs to be changed. Because we used to look like a side that competed to go up, and now we just look like a side that's fighting to stay in the mid-table. And in a few weeks' time, we'll probably be a side fighting for relegation, so it is what it is. Thanks again for watching, and we'll cover you again on the 27th when we dissect, discuss, and cry about Leeds at home. Merry Christmas. And I still find it incredibly ironic he got beat by a manager with no coaching badges.